everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Quilt Club.
Remember to say the right thing.
Yes, April edition 2022.
It is charging along. As we told you last month, classroom is coming along, and we had hoped we'd have light. Until we have lights, we can't do much in the classroom.
No,
but
we cannot.
Hopefully really, really soon, and then we'll be good to go. So welcome, everyone.
Welcome. And speaking of classes, this is just a little example of a class that we're going to have. This is a pattern. It's a skill builder. So I believe it's 4 classes, if I remember correctly. I think you start on the inside and you build your way out, and every round that you do,
you're learning a new skill.
You're learning a new skill.
Love this round here.
It's beautiful. So you're learning borders, you're learning Dresdens, you're learning PC Bargellos. It's a fantastic class. And I think it's for all levels. Not obviously a brand new beginner, but confident beginner and up. So watch for that.
Yeah, class schedule is going to be coming your way.
It is.
Very soon.
It is, yes. Except I worry about the lights and the dates.
I know.
Anyhow.
Yes, I do too. But we'll figure it out. We always do.
So a little housekeeping. This month when you pick up your block, you will get your usual packet of fabric, as always. And you will also get the instructions for the rest of the quilt, for finishing the entire quilt. That means you've got the applique pattern in there, and you've also got the quilt that you guys are, or what we've been saying you're working on, so you can do either one, the grandmother sampler.
Wow.
Yes, so hold on to these because it's your full pattern that you'll have at the end. We don't have another copy for you. This is it. It's what you paid for. It's what you get.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. And
I'm not quite sure how I missed the memo on this, but
to go along with that, we also are ready for you guys to order your finishing kits. Yay!
I'm going to grab them to show you.
So the finishing kits finish the quilt up to the, was it 73 and a bit square, and they will be $89.99. So we've got.
So you get a lovely, lovely little bundle.
And they look quite nice.
They really do.
So when you come to pick up your block, you can put a special order in and pay for your finishing kit. Then Lou will act like a busy beaver and cut your kit. It'll be ready for you next month. And you get your pattern this month, and then you're off to the races and ready to go. Yeah, so
we're going to keep you busy all summer long.
Exactly. And here are this month's blocks. There's Blush,
Woodland,
Mint.
They're quite lovely.
They are quite lovely, actually.
I haven't seen a block yet that I haven't liked. They're all intricate without being too fussy.
Yeah,
no,
nice
really, really nice.
Was there any other housekeeping?
I'm going to just tell you guys about our shop hop, which is coming up. The Hills and Valleys shop hop, we held every year up to COVID, and then we had a little bit of variations on the theme, and we're back to our normal shop hop. We have 5 stores, which is ourselves, Cobwebs and Caviar in Shelburne, who have a little pop-up shop this year. Creekbank Sewing Machine Shop in near Mount Forest. Threads That Bind in Maxwell, and Creemore House of Stitches in Creemore, and ourselves. We have a great project. It's called Square Box. An email has been sent out, but we will be resending that. And
we're working on the Square Box sample.
Yes, we're working on the sample, and we have just awesome prizes.
Be aware, or keep in mind, that each shop has a different background for their sample. So we might be selling purple, and Mount Forest might be selling green. That's not the case, but and we're gonna.
They might be.
They could be. So make sure that you have a chance to look at the website, the Hills and Valleys website.
Yes, there's a link in the email to that.
Excellent.
And if you just Google Hills and Valleys quilt shop tour, it's a Wix website, and you'll find it's got all the information on there about the shop hop. And I should mention the dates. It's going to be April 28th, 29th, and 30th, and we're hoping for wonderful weather.
So in a week or two, once everyone gets their samples done, because we've just recently received the fabric, we will put pictures of them up on the website so you can see in advance which background you prefer, and you know where you want to get your background.
Yes, because every store
is different. So without further ado, we have some very cool stuff today. This is a cotton batting that is called Wrap and Zap. It is fantastic. It is meant for cooking in the microwave. Years ago, there were some problems with this. It's been around 15 years or so, or longer. Yes. And there were some problems with it catching fire. They have since fixed that. it no longer catches fire. You don't need to worry about that. I thought it was important to say because there's some bad publicity.
Residual.
Yes, bad publicity
nervousness.
about this stuff, but they've fixed it. It used to have some of the cotton seed in it, but they've refined it enough now that it doesn't. So this comes on the bolt. It's 20 inches wide, and it is so awesome. What you do with it is you make little bags to put in your microwave. You can cook potatoes, you can cook sweet potatoes, you can cook corn on the cob. And what you do is I scrubbed my baked potato, or I
You
scrubbed
didn't draw attention to your fabric.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry.
You need to draw attention to your
Yes,
fabric.
as you can see, I've used
very
potato
appropriate.
head fabric. Mr. Potato Head. So we've got some of that too. So I just scrubbed my potato. I tucked 2 of them into the bag, stuck it in the microwave. I think it was 5 or 6 minutes. Some steam came up, and I don't know if that was because it was the first time I used this or if that's always going to be the case. And then I took them out. I didn't tell anybody necessarily that they had microwave baked potatoes, and they loved them. They couldn't believe how good the potatoes were. So it does something. I don't know if it's the moisture it holds in or what it does, but they make wonderful baked potatoes, and I assume it does the same for the corn on the cob. So we don't have a pattern to go with this. I simply Googled microwave baked potato bag or microwave potato bag, and it came up with so many different patterns, and I followed one that had a size that I liked. If you're going to be doing corn in yours, you might want a little bit of a bigger one, or you might like a different version. Some had them down the center, and some were, long.
I like the
skinny.
little flap on
I like the
this. It
flap
makes
on the
it,
top because it keeps the steam in, I think,
yeah.
is the idea behind that. So that's the pattern that I found, was just a microwave potato bag pattern, but you can find whichever pattern you want. The Wrap and Zap batting is $8.99 a meter. And that's the
And we have the Mr. Potato Head
We
fabric
do,
bag.
yeah. He's in
Available.
the novelty section if you want to use Mr. Potato Head bag.
Awesome. I've got to try this because we always do our potatoes in the oven.
Yeah.
And that oven is on at 400 degrees for
It takes
way
a long
too
time.
long.
This
Yeah.
was, like I said, I think 5 to 6 minutes, and they were really, really good. Now, obviously, you don't get a crispy skin. If you like crispy skin, this is not necessarily for you, but you could certainly start them that way. They'd be beautiful and moist on the inside.
And then finish them in the oven.
Or the air fryer. You could air fry them. Lots of options. Stick with us. We've got a cooking show starting next week.
Absolutely. Okay.
Go on.
I'm up. So I am going to tell you about new to me ruler. This is the strip tube ruler, and we always have not jokes between us, but I say tube and Shem says, well, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, so there might be a slight hiccup in your video, but we're back.
And we've learned a valuable lesson.
Yes.
I shouldn't play with the on and off switch while I'm talking.
No, you should
That's
not.
going to go there now.
Because she cut me out. So,
And she was halfway through a demo and I
So
couldn't
I'm going
see
to
it
start
filming.
again, and hopefully there's no repeating going on. So this is the strip tube ruler that I am going to be talking about. I'm going to come a little bit closer so you
The
can
strip
see
what?
it. Strip tube ruler.
Strip tube.
Yes, we always have a lot of ha 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 because I apparently mispronounce tube.
Not necessarily.
It's tube.
Yes, it is tube.
So, but it's my British upbringing. I can't help it. So the strip tube ruler by Daniela Stout of Cozy Quilt Designs is an awesome tool for making all sorts of different types of units that are based on a half square triangle. So you can make simple half square triangle units, just 2 colors, or you can make very interesting and complicated half square triangle units. So you can see from the markings on the ruler that it has horizontal markings, and they go all the way from 1/2 inch up to 9.5 inches. So you've got lots of scope in there for making different size units. They also have markings down the center for the center line and 1/4 inch away on each side. So that also helps with your options. So I'm going to show you how we begin. You do get some sheets in the ruler. This is our marketing stand here. It's very 70s or 60s or something.
It is.
I think. So that shows you how to make the basic units at the top, and then at the bottom you actually have a free pattern for the Daniela block, as she calls it, that just is based on your placements of colors, gives you different patterns. So you've got a free pattern in there for a quilt. So first of all, you'll have to put down the marketing thing there.
Yes.
And you can hold that for me, please. So you begin with using 2.5-inch strips. Tons of her patterns are based on 2.5-inch strips or jelly rolls. So if you have a jelly roll and you don't know what to do with it, this is a great ruler for using that. You're going to take two 2.5-inch strips and place those right sides together, and you're going to sew a 1/4-inch seam down each side of the strips, so it effectively makes a tube. Then you can use the strip tube ruler to cut out half square triangle units. I've sewn top and bottom, so I can cut from both directions, top or bottom, and your unit's already sewn. So I'm going to line up the line that's appropriate to the size of the unit I want to make. In this case, I'm doing a 3-inch finished unit. I line up the 3-inch line on the ruler along the stitching line at the bottom side of the tube, not at the edge. So line it up on the stitching line, and you'll see the point of the ruler, you can't see, but it actually extends ever so slightly past the stitching line at the top edge of the tube.
When I watched her do the demo the first time, I thought, oh, Cynthia, you're 1/4 inches off a little bit. I didn't realize.
Well, it might have been. So when I cut this, because I cut both sides to give me the triangular shape, I have a couple of stitches that are holding that top edge together, but it's literally 2 stitches. So you just pull them apart and the threads just pop out. Then I'm going to flip the ruler, try not to hit Shannon with the point of it, and it's going to be along here, and I line up the 3-inch line with the top stitching line, and my point extends just past the stitches on the bottom, and I cut that out, and I end up with a second triangle. And I can just continue flipping and cutting as we go all the way across, and I will end up with a whole bunch of units that look like this, either cut from the bottom or from the top. And when I press that open, voila, I've got an awesome half square triangle unit. So quick and easy, and you've done the stitching on both sides, so it goes really, really fast. Now, a lot of her patterns, and we've got a ton that I can show you, I'll show you these quickly, are based on color placement and width of strips. Gives you your different patterns. So the one I'm going to be showing you in my demo is called Radio Waves. It's an awesome pattern.
And your sample is far better than that.
I love my sample.
Yeah.
I might finish this one. I've only done a few, but you can see those soon. And you'll see that the placement of the blocks and the stripes generates the pattern for you. This one is really cute. Oh, another thing I should mention, the patterns all are multiple sizes. So this pattern here is lap up to king. Radio Waves, 9 sisters. I love this. I think it's really, really pretty. And it goes from lap up to king, and it's also uses the ruler. Then we have Counting Stars. Really pretty pattern. This goes from baby up to king, and I think this would be an awesome baby quilt. You just do 4 blocks for a baby quilt. Ooh. And then we have X Factor, goes from wall hanging up to king.
That's nice.
And these are all 20% off, all the patterns. And this last one, Chain Link, goes from baby up to king. So you've got tons and tons of options. And they're mostly based on 2.5-inch strips. You can cut your own out of fabric you have, or you can use a jelly roll. So the Radio Waves pattern is super cool. It uses pieced blocks on one side of the half square triangle. So I've chosen to use black and whites, and you just piece 4.5-inch strips together and subcut them at 4.5-inch units, and sew those together to make yourself a long strip of black, white, black, white, black, white, or whatever color you're using. And then the other half of my tube is going to be out of 2.5-inch strips. So again, jelly roll or cut pieces. And these you just sew together on one side and press open. So this is 4.5 inches wide with the 2.5-inch strips. This is also cut at 4.5 inches wide. Then I'm going to place these 2 right sides together. They're both 4.5 inches wide, and that's what's going to form my tube. So I'm going to sew 1/4 inch away from that side, 1/4 inch away from that side, and I have a 4.5-inch wide tube with totally different design on either side. So here's where I've cut those are actually sewn together. I've got 4.5 inches and sewn on each side. And I'm going to take my strip tube ruler, And you can see the seam line here is where I changed from white to black. I want to have an equal amount of white and black so that I've got a nice diamond shape in the center of my my little strip tube block. So I'm going to line up the size I want. In this case, I'm doing a 5-inch finished unit. So I line up my 5-inch line with the bottom stitching line, but I'm also going to line up that center line with the seam line between the black and the white. So I line up my center line and my 5-inch line, and I'm going to cut it off there. In this case, it's a little bit below the top, but still not a lot of waste. Cut that off there. Then I'm going to flip my ruler. Remember, I'm sewn top and bottom. Line up my 5-inch line on my stitching line at the top and line up the center line with the next seam line and cut that one off. And again, on I go as long as I got my
And where
stitch.
she stops, nobody
knows. So what I end up with is finished units that look like this. The center line is in the middle of the seam line's in the middle, and I cut it at the 5-inch, and when I open it up,
bam.
Isn't that an awesome
See, there's that
little
cooking show
block?
reference again. Bam.
I love it. I just think it's so cool.
I think it should go closer. I'm not sure how well they can see it.
Okay, I'm going to bring the board closer because you'll be able to see it better. So you can see there's the center line right in the middle. That's my white side and my black side, and then my 2 strips. So it turns into a really, really cool block.
It's very cool.
And I'm going to put this on here, and I'll bring this closer too. This is the finished unit. And again, I absolutely love it. You can see it's really striking, and the seams are perfectly aligned. So I'll just bring that a little bit closer so you can see better. This is a great pattern, as I say. I think I'm going to have to finish this one because
you can do it this weekend.
I could do it this weekend at retreat because we got retreat this weekend.
We do.
So that is the strip. Oh, I lost one of your little guys. Strip tube ruler. All the patterns are absolutely great. The patterns are all no, they're not all $15.99. They vary in price. A few are $15.99, some are $12.99, but you get 20% off all of those. And then the ruler is $44.99, but this is one you're going to use over and over. And honestly, Cozy Quilt Designs, she probably has 100 patterns that use this ruler. There are more than you could.
Well, even just for the half square triangles alone, from
it's
1 inch up to 9 inches.
It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Okay.
All right, I'm telling you about something called triangulations. This is the 4th version of triangulations. It is a computer CD that you pop into your computer, your laptop, and you print pages from it that you will then sew different things being half square triangles, quarter square triangles, and flying geese. So it is fabulous because you can pick any size you want and do as many as you want. So you can go all the way from about 1/2 inch finished, which is insanity, up to, in most cases, I think it's around 7.5 inches. So depending on what units you're making, as I said, there's half square triangles, quarter square triangles, and flying geese. So what you do is you pick your sizes and you print off your sheets. And the sheets look like this.
This is pretty neat.
They have all sorts of different lines on them. They have solid lines and they have dashed lines. The dashed lines have arrows on them, and you stitch on those dashed lines following the arrows. So I did a 1/2 inch finish one here. So you can, I'm not sure how well you can see, but you can see I've stitched on all of the dashed lines. And then I trimmed on all the solid lines, and they have you trim the little corners too, so all your dog ears go right away. You can see where I've cut them here. And you end up with...
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, that's not the right one. Yes, it is. Oh, there, yeah. This is when it's finished, it will be a 1/2 inch finish, but I'm not sure how well you can see. It's perfect. Like, I've never in my life would I be able to sew a 1/2 inch, half square triangle and have it be straight and accurate.
That's wild.
Unless I started at about 4 inches and trimmed it down or something, but it's perfect. And then there's also, I went up to a 3-inch one because you can see that a little better. You don't get as many on a 3-inch page, but it's fabulous. You just, again, follow the lines, cut where you're supposed to, and you get perfect half square triangles, as many as you want or as few as you want. And it's just on regular computer paper. And then you have your paper still in there, and a lot of people think, oh no, I don't want the paper, because you've got to pick it all out. But if you shorten up your stitch length, it comes off just like that. And I learned you need to press it first and then remove the paper. I don't know how well you can see this on I've got 2 half square triangles here. One I pressed first and one I didn't. You can't tell. This one's wonky because I pulled the paper out afterwards.
Take her word for it. It's wonky.
So all you need to do with the half square triangle to get the paper out is pull the paper. Oh, I missed the part that says you have to put 2 pieces of fabric behind this paper that you're working on.
You're not just sewing paper.
Yeah, you're not sewing paper. You put them right sides together. Sorry about that part. So once you get it pressed, you put your thumb on the seam line and you just pull like straight out. And then, so
piece of cake.
Yeah, and then you're left with that little bit that just pops right out too. So you're not picking itty bitty bits of paper out. It's pretty, I was worried about that.
And it works brilliantly.
Yeah, it does. And then you've got no dog ears, perfect half square triangle, any sizes you want from 1/2 inch up to 7.5. And it works the same with the 1/4 square triangles and the flying geese unit. So it is a great CD. You just have it whenever you need it. It's there,
awesome.
You pop it in, print them off, and away you go. Regular paper, and it's great. And it's mindless, easy sewing because you're just doing it.
Follow the line.
You just follow the line. It was kind of
follow
fun.
the
It's like,
arrow.
yeah. So the triangulation CD is $44.99 less your 20%.
Very cool. I have a really nifty notion, but it's a very small
cool.
and simple thing. These are called bobbin boats. We got these just to have by the cash, and honestly, they disappeared in a day. So we decided, okay, we'll get some more. So bobbin boats, I'll come a little closer again so you can see. These are little boat shapes. There's a little stop at each end, but they're to hold up to 10 bobbins. So they're going to keep those nice and neat. They pop in and they're securely held within that shape.
So they're like flexible rubber, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. It's soft and squishable, but it has some rigidity to it as well. So it's going to hold them real easily. We've got green, aqua, and blue. They're nice colors. They are only $9.99 less your 20%. They're fabulous for when you're going to class or
keeping your
retreat
stuff
or just keeping your stuff neat. I have bobbins everywhere, and they kind of unravel a little bit too easily. So
And that will hold
I need
the
a bunch of
thread
those.
in. That will hold it
If
in.
you order these online, there isn't color choice. They're all great colors, but we'll just have to choose one because there's no way we can specify which color. If you come into the store when you pick up your block, obviously you can pick whichever color you like.
And they fit L and M class bobbins.
Oh yeah,
so regular
some
size.
bobbins are a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So they'll take both
Or
sizes.
long arm bobbins, I believe, will fit in there too if you need to keep those corralled. Okay, we have one last thing to share with you. This is a book by Annie. Annie is famous for her bags that she's made and her, I guess, her Interform stuff.
Yes,
foamy.
yeah. She's
that
got
she
a
makes
lot
her
of
bags.
different stabilizers and interfacings too.
But she also does quilt patterns, and we have a book here called Let's Get Scrappy. It is a really good book. There's the cover quilt, which I just love. I think that's wonderful. But there's 9 patterns in total. I'll show you the back. You can probably see that better. So you've got just a variety of one. You've got big 9 patches. You've got kind of a tessellation quilt, they call that. You've got a really cute PC log cabin and 9-patch star, which I think might be my favorite in the book. There's a lot of really good patterns. So it's a scrappy book, so you're just using your scraps. You don't need to buy things necessarily to go in it. And she gives really great instructions how to work with your scraps. And it is such a bargain at $15.99 for 9 quilt patterns, less your 20%. So that is called Let's Get Scrappy, and it's a really pretty good book.
I need one of those because I have a lot of scraps.
Just a few.
You'll have to remind me something because I can't remember. Did I already talk about the shop hop on this video? Or was it on the practice?
No, you talked about it.
Okay, so you heard all about the shop hop, and if Shannon's wrong, check on our website. There's lots of information there.
I'm sure you
did.
did.
We talk about
We did.
Okay.
The trouble is we've run this video through 2 or 3 times. There's been problems, so I'm not sure which version
Yes,
this
it
is.
gets
Sorry,
a little bit
guys.
confusing.
It
So
does get a little
we need to do
confusing.
our April charade. Now,
Yes.
I didn't know this thing before, so I will try to keep up. But
You're all gonna love it. So being that it's Easter month, there's bunnies and chickies and all that sort of thing. So in order for you guys to pick up your block this month, you need to do the chicken dance, or the best version you can of the chicken dance. So
Okay.
we will remind you. It starts off, Na 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 na. And that's all you have to do. It keeps going, and you can do the whole square dance thing.
Don't make me keep going.
So we'll do it one more time
Oh,
for
we will,
you.
will we?
Yes, we will. Na 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 na. Okay.
Yay!
So that's what you guys have to do to get your
I'm going
block.
to a wedding, so maybe they'll do that.
They
You
will.
never
They
know.
should. And if you can't, if you can't get your arms up or whatever, if you've
You
got
do
some,
your version.
yeah, do the best you can. And I think happy Easter.
Yeah. Happy Easter, everyone. Have a wonderful month. It's my birthday this month.
It is. Woo!
Way, yeah.
Is that everything? I guess
That
it
is everything.
Thanks for
So,
joining us. Sorry
we'll
this
see you
was a
soon.
little discombobulated, but I think you've come to expect that from us now.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.